Hey, Happy New Year, White Wizard, Moon Goddess is here, Ixchel energy. And what an amazing time to becoming empowered, consciously aware, and letting the magic flow through us. That's what this energy is all about. White Wizard is a bit of a misnomer, really, because it is about the Moon Goddess. It's about the time on planet Earth of the return to balance of the sacred feminine. First of all, within us, that is the key. That's what changes everything. And it's time to turn everything on its head now. Uranus in Taurus, embodiment, understanding that it is about dissolution in terms of alchemy. It is about letting go of what is getting in the way of the magic, what is letting go in our hearts. It's Leo time. It's a very powerful time at the start of the Mayan calendar. Magnetic moon, day one, the initiation. So for the next 28 days, it's going to be all about what is initiating for you, how proactive you are on your path, how consciously aware you are on your path, how empowered you are. Remembering that being proactive is a whole different energetic relationship with the universe than being reactive. And the more that we can be proactive, the more empowered we feel, the more that we feel that we can change the world, because we actually can, because that's what we're here for as conscious creators. And I've just been reading so many different versions of this. Again, whatever floats your boat, whatever appeals to you, whatever resonates for you. It is all about the individual. It is all about understanding that our map of the world has been created over our lifetime, and also with the DNA over many lifetimes. This is also evolutionary astrology. It's the cutting edge energy therapies that are really coming into their own now. It's about patterning. It's about looking at our history, our hereditary, what we believe to be, in some cases, inevitable. And what I offer you is that is not true. We have the power to change things now, because now is the time for change. So today's a really powerful day for getting in touch with your Leo heart. What's your passion? What sets you on fire? How much loving can you do, be, have in your life? And as we go into this spiral, we have also got the moon in Taurus in a waning energy. And I'm just going to read you that. I'm going off the locality here in California. And at Leo time, this is generally what I go off my patterns for, because Leo time, Leo meridian, is between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. every day. And it's a really, really good time to work on yourself and to have heart-opening connections. So at 11:30 a.m. I picked, we were at Taurus at 23 degrees. Just check to see if that makes any difference if we go a little bit earlier. At 23 degrees, so I'm going to go for that. A salamander glowing red-orange, burning up with the inner flame of creative activity in the soul realms. The inner life raging with power and insistent force. A level of attunement to the central flame of your being that will not quit. The impassioned desire to manifest perfectly what lives inside. The alchemical intention to burn away the dross and return to pristine selfhood at long last. An extremely sharply motivated path of development, difficult to harness, yet the mastery called for is just what you seek to embody, and anything more reasonable seems easy and lazy. One-pointed drive to strip away all but self and be true to self in a fashion that will burn a hole in the world. Wow. Love that. Okay, so this is from aquaorfire.net, and it's from a book by called Inside Degrees. And so if you know the degrees in your chart, your astrological codes, then you can open up this amazing dialogue of going deeper. There are also other websites available that I use in my work, and it's just endless how amazing this time is for discovering our storylines and for changing them and rewriting the story, because that's what I believe that we come here to do. That's what I offer you at this time. I'm going to be doing a workshop on the new moon in Leo, which is on the 1st of August. I'm not sure exactly on the timing yet, so I will be posting that up in the very near future, because that's what I want to be talking about today. On this workshop, it'll be online. You can access it from anywhere in the world. I'm going to be going more into the coding and speaking about how you can really work with this energy. And so the 1st of August is Lammas, of course, which is a pagan calendar feast day, amazing day, and it will be yellow resonant sun. And yellow resonant sun is not only a portal day, a galactic portal day, and I've got my calendar here to show you. Okay, so here we are today in the Red Castle, and when we go down to the bottom here, there we go, in the corner, yellow resonant sun is there. As you can see, it's a different colour. This means it's a human evolution portal day, which means in all time and all space, it's a time for learning about the light process, which is alchemically changing the shadow into the light. So all our ancestral patterning and wounding. And it's one of 13 clear signs, which again you can check out on my blog, flowwithjo.com. Just put in 13 clear signs. This is a process that has been gifted to us by our ancestors for this time to really understand what we're here for around clearing old shadow code so that we can embody the new dream. We are the dreamers, we are the conscious dreamers. And at this time, it's really about revisiting all our wounding patterns in this lifetime so we can stop doing it. Basically, we can stop doing the old wounding and we can start to really get clear and become a clear sign and a gateway to downloading new code and creating from that clear space within. So it's an amazing time, and it's aligned, of course. This is what's mind-blowing once you get into matching up all the codes and you realise how it all works cosmically, that somebody has got a plan, has got a clue, or something that has an amazing divine consciousness that we are all a part of as well. It's wow, you know, because at times when you're having a little bit of a wobble, and I think a lot of people are going through that right now as the old code is reaching its computer says no, past its sell-by date, old strategy's not working anymore, bullshit's coming up to be cleared. So, you know, it's a very challenging time for the ego, and that's the key with the Mayan calendar as well. It's all about maturation of the ego, time to grow up, time to take responsibility for our creations, whether they've been conscious or unconscious. Time to create something new. So 1st of August, new moon in Leo, new beginnings of the heart. And so, yeah, watch my spaces on Facebook, because I'll be advertising that, and I'll be going more in depth about how to really work with this energy now to get clear, and how to understand your own personal code. So back to the code, White Wizard. We started a new 13-year cycle today. White Wizard is code 14. It's the 14th mind sign. It's a planetary energy, along with Red Moon, Blue Storm, and Yellow Seed. If you are one of these planetary energies, then this is really key for you. If you are 52 or older, and you are one of these planetary energies, you can actually know exactly what energy you are going to be working with for this 13-year cycle. And if you want to know more about that, please do get in touch with me. If you want to find out what your Mayan sign is, there are several decoders out there, and I will be putting a link underneath the video so you can check out your Mayan sign. And this stuff is just mind-blowingly wow, and has been life-changing for me. I've been doing the practice of living the learning for 8 years now, and so as I have really started to allow myself to go into a place of new learning and unlearning things, this is the whole key now. Unlearning old ways of being. I have just opened more and more into, often being confused, often being scared, lots of emotion coming up. And again, this is a necessary part of the process, is to really understand that we have to let go and reboot, and that involves the emotional mind. And the reason that it involves the emotional mind is because the amygdala is part of our hardwiring to use a computer framework. And so how we experience things as a human being has been wired in to keep us safe, as a burglar alarm, and it also keeps us in a holograph of experience. So it's really key to understand this process, and it's really key to clear the old process with conscious awareness so we can do something else. It's all part of the program. It's what we came here for. And on one level, there is nothing to be scared of. On another level, this is about feeling. Uranus in Taurus is all about feeling. It's all about embodiment. It's not a mindset on its own. The mind is part of it. So much attention has been paid to the mind, and it's just, with the tail end of this spiral and the masculine aspect of the human being, it is out of control. It's pathological, a lot of it, and it's coming from a very limited space as well, of believing that if you think enough about things, then somehow you're going to find a solution. But actually, using the Albert Einstein framework, when you're still in the stuck place, you're just creating more of the same. You have to get clear of the stuck place so that you can access a different understanding and perception. And once we understand this process, it is incredibly complex, but like a lot of these amazing things, it's paradoxically quite simple as well. Everyone knows what their answers are. In the last 13 years of Red Moon, we have really been made aware, we've awakened to where we're being out of alignment, we're offline, we're inauthentic. We've done it to survive. We've done it as part of the bigger picture human plan on the planet, in the structure that's been going on for thousands of years. So it does take some time, but it doesn't take more thousands of years worth. You can do this at this time if you have the discipline and the determination, because everything is aligned with us now to do that. This is what this time is about, the tipping point. So, Code 14, White Wizard, the Moon Goddess, the asteroid belt. Really key to this. This is what I got in touch with earlier on in the year, and I blogged about this. The asteroid Haumea, forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Haumea is what I came to the conclusion with after a couple of videos and blogs. I went, yeah, Haumea. Amazing goddess energy, and where that is in your chart is really key. Google it. If you know how to do your chart, find out where it is. If you want assistance from me, if you want to go through this with me, again, please do get in touch. I'm going to be doing workshops on this in the near future. This just blows my mind. This is so key to the process. This is all about personal process. This is all about self-empowerment. Each one of us coming into our gift space and being the true gift that we are here to be, free of all this old story, free of all this old conditioning. Challenging to try and do that, I know, and keep afloat and keep a roof over your head. But trust me when I say, as long as you keep doing this process of inner work, you will be supported. You will be challenged at times, just like people who have gone before, avatars who have gone before, who've been extremely challenged because they are different to the majority of the tribes. They're cast out. Aquarius energy, this new age that we're transiting into, that's what it's all about. It's the opposite of the old tribe. If you've got a lot of Aquarius energy in your chart, then this is key to your journey and speaking the opposite of where most people are in their comfort zone. So when were we last in this cycle? In the smaller wheel, in the 260-day cycle, we were last in this White Wizard cycle on the 24th of October last year. So the last spin cycle was in Scorpio, and all about our intimacy and wounding issues, our power issues. Now we've begun a new one, and so again 13 days ago when we began this cycle in Cancer. So all around, again, water, the emotions, home, nurturing, and again, not a huge amount of understanding about this on the planet and not embodying it in most places. Apart from in peoples who are still very much in touch with undistorted connection to the earth, the indigenous tribes, very little of that energies is still living that truth, free of any intervention or distortion from the West, from Europe, and from genocide and corruption, basically. So, but people who are still living in that truth understand that when a child comes into the world, the most important thing for that child is to feel loved, to feel safe, to feel supported. And that creates the patterning for the rest of its life. Most of us on the planet have not had that experience and are trying to deal with what happened to us and everybody who came before us in our ancestral DNA. And so this is what I offer you. This is what we're here to turn around now and change that, so that we as a culture as a race, as the human race, really start to understand what creates trauma for the human being, and to start setting up solution-focused, clear places to support people. That's the most important thing, people, and that people feel loved and that people feel safe on planet Earth. Of course, a lot of people have an agenda where they don't want people to feel like that, because then they can't benefit, they can't power trip, they can't harvest the energy of people and their fear. So this is a challenge in itself. But as long as each individual just starts to focus on the self and getting clear on a personal level, the magic really does start to happen. On a bigger cycle, the last time that we were on this planetary energy of White Wizard was from 1967 to 1979. So if you were around back then, and if you were a child, I was born in 1965. So again, we of that age are going to be revisiting that. And of course, anybody older, we're going to be revisiting that cycle again. So when key things happened on planet Earth of that time period, this is really key, because again, this is what happens with the wheel. We go round and around and around with the intention that we become wise and we learn from the experiential learning. Prior to that, it was 1915 to 1927, and then prior to that, 1863 to 1875. So again, the 1915 to 1927, First and Second World War, you know, in between those periods, and well, First World War in particular. So again, it's seeing what was going on at that time around fear for human beings, what that created, where that went, what that led to. And again, there is always a positive comes out of this. People do learn things, even though often most of our learning up to now has been extremely painful and challenging, and there's been a lot of suffering for human beings, and there still is. So we have moved on in a lot of ways on a material level, and that has made a difference to some degree, but people are still very much suffering in their hearts and not feeling loved, and noticing that stuff doesn't actually feel great for any length of time. So this is key to our evolutionary process, to really understand that. Okay, so let me just check if there's anything else I need to add. No, that's it really in a nutshell. Those are the key dates to look at if you want to go deeper. And in a smaller wheel, in a snapshot, what we are now refining is what has happened to us in the first 13 days. So over the previous 13 days, while we've been initiated into Red Dragon energy is really about what the Great Mother is bringing for us to align us with our cosmic evolution. And Neptune in particular, because that's the planet of Red Dragon, is about how we access deep esoteric wisdom. And we can only do that when we have learned the basics, you know. So this is all about learning the basics first. Chop wood, carry water, learn the basic principles as an alchemist, as a magician, as a witch, whatever you want to use in terminology, as a sorcerer, connecting to source. That's what a sorcerer is. So understanding the dynamics, understanding the laws of the universe, understanding the cosmology, understanding personal cosmic code is key. And then how to use tools, Blue Hand, the seventh mind sign, how to use the tools to change the inside so the outside changes. Yesterday was the day out of time. And so what you were doing yesterday, which is 25th of July, Red Cosmic Skywalker, what needs to shift for you to experience heaven on earth? And what that really means is how you feel, how each one of us feels each day. Are we in a space of feeling joy, accessing joy, loving being here on planet Earth, in this Garden of Eden? Wherever we are not experiencing that, that's where the alchemy is. That's where the shadow is. That's where the new learning is. That's the edge of the map. It's a really magical time now to connect to this wisdom. I'm here in California. It's been a huge challenging time for me and my partner over the past month. It's allowed us to really see what's important for us in our life and not to take life for granted. You don't know how much time you have here. It does give you a real kick up the bum to know what's important, because the mind can get so lost in trivia and avoidance, and especially avoidance of intimacy, out of fear. And yesterday we had a lovely day, and it was really, really hot here. I know it's been really, really hot in a lot of places in Europe as well. And so, yeah, that gets you to really focus as well, doesn't it, on how your environment affects you and how little often you can do about it. Today, what have you been doing to initiate a process for yourself? And we've been doing a really exciting process of moving things forward so that we can get married. And yeah, it's just a really exciting time. What's important for you? What sets your heart on fire? What do you love dreaming about? What's your dream? And what has been getting in the way of that over the past 13 years? Where have you been living a lie, basically, to yourself in some way? And it is this key thing of remembering we are always doing this to ourselves on one level. That's the key, isn't it? And, so recognizing that and taking responsibility for that, and really focusing on, well, what if I could actually live my dream? Because you can. If you really want to, and you're willing to do what it takes to make it happen. Sometimes our dream comes in the weirdest of ways, in the way that we don't expect. And again, that's what I really love, is I never in a million years dreamt that I'd be here making this video today. But I trust when I get the signs and the signals, and I do follow my gut instinct, and I trust my intuition more and more. And again, this is all about the moon goddess. This is all about the sacred feminine coming in to balance within each one of us. So I hope you have the most amazing 13-year cycle. We're all